Hey, we are all about Valentine's edition. So, this is a book that I've written. It's called Let Me Go, Breaking the Shackles of Insecurity. And I also have another beautiful book, Celebrate Yourself. If you don't know how to celebrate yourself, nobody will celebrate you. And then I have another one together with my husband, that marriage works. It does. And why is it falling apart? This book has all those answers. Now, guess what? I want you to write down, okay, your best dating experience. For you to win these books, it is #WWL Valentine's Edition. Don't forget, you're going to get a hold of this book. It's going to be free for you, okay? Either of these is going to be free for you. So let us know how your dating experience has been, and you get yourself an amazing book. And these books are also on sale at our Get Understanding bookshop. You call those numbers on your screen and you're going to get a hold of this book. They're amazing. They're going to transform your life. Happy Valentine's.
Don't let what you've done hinder you. Don't you let where you've been hinder you. Don't let what they say hinder you. Don't you let your past hinder you. You're a woman without limits. You're a woman without limits. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. You're a woman without limits. You're a woman without limits. Woman without limits. Na 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 na. Woman without limits. Woman.
Good evening, viewers. You are welcome to Woman Without Limits. We are looking at love. We are looking at what it is and what it means. I tell you, you're going to hear things that are going to bless you tonight.
Woman.
So I called Dottie. I'm like, so what do you think about this guy to mess up nae? What do you think? Dottie's like, that one. Go for it. In fact, it was if I was younger, I would have. Dottie amechachisha
Ningemaliza.
She's telling me hata kuna date tulikuwa tunaongea na Nungo tunasema if not for it. Enyewe mtu mwenye Dottie amezoelewa na yeye.
Ni mtu quality.
Thank you.
Unaona? You need to kununua soda
Committee. Na sijui bwana na Levina utaji vile nilikuwa advice, but it's okay. Committee.
Chris, you are in another level.
Then I called Shiro. She was like, really? Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Go for it, girl. I'm like, are you sure? And then she was like, yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, haya, sawa, let's do this. So niko Mungu usiache kerere yangu ni leader, usiache kerere yangu. And then I said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we started dating. Yeah, so we dated. Niendele?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Tuko Valentine.
Oh yeah.
Tunaonesha watu it's a month of love.
Yeah. So mimi ndio nimeingia kwa mapenzi chubui.
Yeah.
Tuko hapo ndani sasa tumeanza. So like hata nishaikuwa kwa serious relationship in the past like no. So sijui nianzie wapi. But tumeanza. Hata ilikuwa awkward kumuita babe. Ask Dottie. Nakwambia hata kumuita babe niko Symbols would come easier than this.
Yeah.
So, tukaanza tu pole getting to know each other pole too.
Yeah.
So shida ikaanza kutokea kwa temperament. Me, I didn't know temperament is an issue that can affect a relationship. Mimi ndo huyo ama sanguine, I'm all over the place, I am loud. Mimi nataka nikiamka asubuhi, si unanipenda? Si unanipenda? Ndio ulisema. Piga simu. Unakuwa umechangamka. Show me how excited you are, wish me a good day, blah blah blah. Sipigiwi simu. Naamka asubuhi. The first person I see is my sister because I'm living with her. Na ni hata niongelesha paka saa 4 saa 5.
Hakuna simu.
Hakuna simu.
So you're like, okay, what love is this?
What love? Kwani watu sinasikia watu wanakanga kwa simu for long. What is happening to my relationship? Is this even a serious relationship? Nikasema acha ninyamazie, usianze kuchoma ndio utumie kwa relationship. Sema nitanyamazia, acha nimpe time, maybe something happened. Tumeendelea, imekuwa trend. Kila siku tunaamka na kuja kusalimia huko saa 4. Niko niliamka 5. Nasalimiwa aje saa 4? Mimi nikaona hii haitaweza.
I was make.
So siku nyingine amenipigia simu nikamwambia uko sure saa 4? Saa 4 ndio unataka kuniongelesha? Sasa unataka kukupatia story vile niliamuka nimeshakunywa chai nini? Hapana, haiwezi. So ndio sasa nikakuja kujua. Hata kuna time nilikuwa naongea na Doti ndio nisikia hata yeye akisema anyway he's not serious with you. At least niko na reason ya ku break up na yeye, is going kama
ulijiambia.
Nilijiambia nipate good wise counsel. So niko Doti, hata wewe unaweza kubali hivyo. Nini mtu anaweza kufanyia hivyo?
Anakupigia tena yeye.
Na dunia iko karibu nusu.
So Doti ndio huyo, badala ni encourage Doti ako imagine inaweza kuwa he's not, maybe he's just like that, get to know his temperament nini.
Wow.
Mimi kukuja kujua kumbe mtu ni introvert. Na ati anaamkanga anataka tu time ya kumeditate. Niko una meditate nini? As in, what are you meditating about? Atamka hapo ati meditate, aombe, asome word, bado meditate tena word. Ndio sasa aanze kufikiria life yake, alafu after hiyo sasa afikirie dem.
Ebu hold that thought there. Anto, ebu tuambie na wewe. How was yours? So now when you're meeting your wife, and introduce us to your wife, and then tell us how you met, and when you were meeting her, whether she was healed.
Yeah, so my name is Anthony. My wife, my wife is she's here. So
Introduction poor.
Itakana kauzito. Ongeza content.
Atiweka content.
I am the husband to my lively wife.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, so when I met she was healed, because the same experience she had is actually the same experience that I had. In the year 2015, 2016, I had a heartbreak. So what had happened during that time was, you see, like that time I wasn't fully mature because I was still young. So my girlfriend was graduating during that time. During me, what has always been my priority in biashara. So she had actually told me on Saturday I'm supposed to have a graduation. So I'd actually even indicated it on my diary. So asubuhi nikiamka, I knew this has to be the priority. But mimi nani? Nikapigiwa simu, so nikaenda mahali katika hiyo pilika I delayed now to come to attend the graduation. So from there she started to develop that bitterness, since it was, graduation is so important. I didn't know that it's something that is so important. So after now the breakup,
hata ninajipace ndio Anto asiseme sahani ilikuwa mbele yake, mimi namalizia cookies, kula kamoja ndio nipate nguvu ya kukula ingine,
ndio at least tukulanisha pamoja. Yeah, so after now the breakup, so like I've come to realize that all our story is the same. After the breakup is when you realize that the only person that cares is God. So you have to go to your initial love, which was God. So me during that time nikaanza kusik God ile kabisa, kumtafuta. So I would wake up in the morning kwanza kwamba, since I had not anticipated that would have come. So nikaanza kuseek God. Then also apart from that, I started seeking God and also now putting now priority now kwa biashara. Since I knew one thing, biashara hizi anguka. So my two key things were that. So when I met her, our story was able to relate. Then also the other thing is that she had actually been healed. The time that I knew she had healed is actually when she had the guts to tell me, because we didn't know, hatukuwa tumejuana for so long.
Yeah.
So she would approach me akaniambia, sasa Anto, kuna hii story, what do you think? So when I heard she had told me that, I knew for sure that she had healed about that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she opened up to you and told you?
Yes, she opened up to me and she told me, it's so nice because I was new here.
Yeah.
It was so good for me to hear from her, other than I hear now from
Other
the other
people.
people.
Others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would mention names, but I know myself.
Yeah. Oh, so you were happy she opened up to you?
Yes, I was happy I heard it first from her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So how is the marriage working out? You newlyweds can tell us. when you entered into the marriage, you entered the house, was that what you expected, or where are you at?
Mimi
Yeah.
kwa sasa I am almost, we got married on December 3rd, so took almost our second month. Honeymoon ilikuwa poa, acha tu.
Hatuachi.
So tumekuja kwa nyumba. I remember Aki day one, si tulikosana babe?
Yes.
Aki
Day one.
Hey, alafu mimi najua as in it's our first day, lazima tu hii kitanda lazima testify.
Of course.
Tumekosana, kijana anaangalia ukuta. Niko na lie. Niliamka na niliomba ili asikie naomba. Nikaenda nikaambia, you devil, bucket by all means. We are not starting like this because it's our first day.
Yeah.
So when I prayed, kijana akasikia, Mungu naye akafanya kazi.
Akatan.
Akatan. Hata alitan mwenyewe.
Akampigia mama.
Alionaga kaombaji akaomba.
So I noticed, because sisi atuku nini, we started dating in May, got married in December. So it was a short time to like really know each other kabisa. So tunaingia ndio naanza kumjua na anaanza kunijua. Tuka notice tunakosana the first in December. Tulikuwa tunakozana sana over very petty issues.
Thank you. Married couples, they normally kosana over spoon, over, you can't even tell people. You can't tell people why you're fighting. Because it is very embarrassing. How do you say it? Because the socks were here? Or that you haven't talked for 3 days. What? Because of something so silly that you can't even talk about. So you realized?
Yes. But the thing that helped me was there's a time you said that marriage gets better with time. And then I noticed, because najua, the more tunakosana, then I am aware what not, as in, ni wapi neza mkwaza, and where it's good. So now I know my boundaries, like, okay, hapendi hivi. So it was a learning curve for me. So I'm very opinionated. I have an opinion over everything, and my friends tell me. My friends tell me
she will say it.
And she will fight for her opinion.
And fight for it. Uende ukasikia vibaya huko.
But she has said her piece.
Yes. And I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. Like, it makes sense to me. It should to you as well. Unafaa kuichukua and run with it.
Yes. Because it came from me. Yeah, what is it?
And then I find that other people also have opinions.
That there are other people in this. You're not alone.
So nikalanku, I learned to was to fight, was not to. Like nikiona okay. Kama yani he comes very strong on certain things. Nasemanga okay, acha tutaona najua, because I will fight him and then we will end up doing whatever I wanted anyway. So nyamaza tu. So I learned how to go around it. To can notice, by the way, we don't fight as much. nikamwambia unakumbuka what Rev said?
Yeah.
Marriage gets better with time. I think it's everything
Yeah.
from our experience
Yeah.
and the expectations. My God, mimi nilikuwa na two expectations twenye nilikuja nikapata huku kwa ground ni kama it's a respecter of
Kwa
norm.
ground is different. Vitu kwa ground na different.
My God,
Mimi
nilikuwa nataka mtu mwenye tutafika kwa nyumba, tumetoka kazi,
Yes.
tuingie kitchen,
tuane viatu, muingie kitchen, mufanyane miguu massage kwanza.
Wacha tu.
Who is going to cook today? Honey, is it
It's
you?
your time.
You know, or as you're cooking, is massaging your back. Right. Then reality hits. Akona remote. Alishika remote control. Controlling the entire world.
Wacha tu. Unamwangalia tu hivi uko kitchen.
Uko hata hakuna kitu inamguza.
My friend, sasa tumefanya pamoja. Yeye anasikia tu sufuria koko. Hata ashtuki. Ashtuki kuja kuangalia what is happening. Nikakuja kujua son of man. Hajui kupika vile. Na si interest yake vile. So hizo expectations niweke kando.
Uweke kando, uendelee ujipange.
It was painful.
Tamwana wa kairetu. Okay.
Because I'm like tunatoka kazi pamoja.
Sylvans, what was your expectation?
Yes.
Did you find?
Ours was different.
Yeah.
I really loved the experience, and I think maybe I was prepared because we had gone through premarital classes and we had a rough idea of the expectation of some of the things that we may go through, and also having passed through a number of advices from other people. I think I was prepared mentally.
Yeah.
But the part of it where I think there was a bit of issue is when it comes to finances. No, I love to budget.
You have to budget. Your wife.
She's very understanding.
Yes.
But she loves quality things.
Okay, you can see. So you can
Yes,
see.
yes.
Yeah, you can see. She's not joking. She's her mother's daughter. Yes.
Quality.
Luku is important.
Yeah, she loves quality things. And on my end, from my background where I grew up,
Yeah.
I grew up in a ghetto, so I didn't experience that life where I have to buy the quality things. So long as it's something, so long as walia wanasema unga ni unga.
Yeah.
Unga ni unga.
Unga ni unga.
So on her end, it was different.
Yeah.
So when I budget for this and you do it differently, I think it was really disturbing me. And the first day, I think it was the second day, we had a voucher. You know, we were given voucher of almost 64,000
Wow.
from where I work, like
Yeah.
club. And then I gave her. She went for shopping.
With 64,000.
She did the shopping, 28,000. And sincerely speaking, what she bought, some of them have never even had a pink salt, as in a pink salt. Pink salt
In my defense,
Yes.
pink salt is healthy.
It is. It is.
Yes.
I'm defending you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So me, I'm looking at our health.
Yes.
You know, you have to balance all these things.
Yes.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Yeah. So
So
Yeah, wow.
It was quite challenging, but I think from the advices I got,
Yeah.
I just had to give her time. And since it was our learning season, I just surrendered.
You surrendered
To
it.
God.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, when you're from different backgrounds,
Yeah.
because even me, like my husband would not want to spend a thing even on himself, because it's like you know, and being an accountant, he wants to be calculative and you know all that, and then having come from the slums again, he wants to really like just take care of everything, and then he married a wife who likes the soft life.
Fine life.
Fine life, my friend. You know, I like nice things, you know.
Yeah.
And so it was a work in progress, and we got to a place of, you know, understanding each other. Now he's happy that I got him out, and I'm also happy that he pulled me in. So you help each other, you balance each other out.
Yes.
So we are not overspending, but we are also spending.
Yes.
Yes, you know, like we are not spending at all. So I want us to do something.
Yes.
I want us to look at marriage as a building. Okay?
Yes.
Then I want us to talk about that and help somebody who's watching us today. So I want you to just interject and talk about it, okay? So God formed man from dust.
Yeah.
All right? And then when he wanted to bring forth a woman, he put man back there and opened him up. Again, he started from the ground and then pulled the woman out and started to, you know. So that means that God showed us what a building is, because a building begins from the ground. And there is no relationship that can ever work if the foundations are destroyed.
Yes.
And so it has to start from scratch, from the ground. Okay? And many times people ignore foundations. Do you know that what we've discussed right now is foundation? Like, oh, I discovered he's sanguine. I discovered she's this. I discovered she spends. I discovered he doesn't. I discovered that all this we are talking about is foundation. Oh, I discovered he doesn't cook. I discovered, you know, all that. It's foundation. Okay? And many people ignore the foundation. Now, foundation is the dirtiest place. Is filthy, because all the wiring, all the mud, all the sand, all the cement, all the stonework, everything is there. It's the most expensive in a building. Foundation is the most expensive because it holds the entire building. And so when it comes to relationship, foundation is critical. A lot of people don't want foundation because foundation is now what you're doing. I'm discovering he's not things. I'm discovering it's a dirty job, so to speak. And it's a job that's not seen. Foundation is, it goes under.
Yes.
And the more you dig, the higher that building can go. So these stages that you're in, and that's why I wanted us to do this program, are very critical, where you're waiting and you're working on yourself and you're trusting God for a wonderful man and you're trusting God for to have a wonderful marriage and all that it will work out. You're trusting God that yours will stand and all that. So you're in the foundation stages. So having said that, because foundation is critical, you can tell me what you understand by foundation, because somebody watching will also be helped, and then we'll pick it up and see what comes after the foundation. Yeah. Talk to me. Shoot.
I'd say foundation, like you said, is God. And when we got married, Pastor Baraza, who officiated our marriage, aliongelelea kuhusu priorities. Akasema, first is God, then the marriage institution, and then you two. And so having something that is bigger than the two of you will help, which we have come to see, like for me, being very, very critical, because I know I'm not in this with just him, but then we have a helper, the Holy Spirit, who will help me understand him, help him understand me, help me forgive very easily, because atafanya kitu, if I hold on to it, utapata will go a whole day without talking, sleep without talking, you know. And when I allow the Holy Spirit, he's going to help me to forgive him, like let go things as quickly as possible, be kind when I don't feel like being kind, being patient. I wake up alafu mimi ni mtu wa time to move tusichelewe. Amke kwanza, nataka kwanza
meditate.
I'm like meditate jana usiku ni tukiamka ni haraka tumetoka bro, you know. So unapata na nyamaza, like ananisaidia kwa so I feel like one of the foundations is when you involve the Holy Spirit.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Daughter, the Bible says whoever finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor before the Lord. So foundationally, you as a woman, what is it that you're doing as a foundation to be in that position where whoever finds you finds that good thing?
First of all, I'd say foundations take time. You said the deeper,
the deeper you deep.
We understand.
The digger you deep. Okay. Yeah.
So foundations, I believe, take time. Yes, I'm 40, but when I look at my life now, I actually thank God I didn't get married when I wanted to get married at the age of 28, because I don't know whether that marriage would have lasted. When we talk about foundations from a point of waiting, I believe there is a lot that goes into building yourself as a woman, Emotionally, are you emotionally stable? Do you know how to respond and not react? You know, those are things I keep asking myself. Am I going to respond? Respond, don't react. Because I know how relationships, when people, if you're mad at one another, sometimes just thinking, let me react and then I'll say sorry tomorrow. But sometimes sorry doesn't work when someone really feels hurt. But you know, so there's the emotional, building yourself emotionally, building yourself spiritually, learning the art of warfare as a woman, because if your house is on fire, sometimes if the man doesn't know warfare, you're the one who have to step into that gap and hold the family together. Financially, building yourself as a woman, you should be able to put something on the table, however small. Building yourself career-wise, learning what it means. Yes, we've not yet gotten to the place of parenting and all, but I know when I get married, I'm not going to start waiting for 1 year. Since Chapata honeymoon baby. So even health-wise, what am I eating? What kind of supplements are you taking? Learning how to, physically, make sure you're physically fit.
So not just spiritually, but also physically.
Learning how not to kujiachilia. Sometimes, you know, right now, just because I broke my hand, I've been a little bit challenged. But I used to tell myself, Ebu, let me try and see what it means to get home and just cook. Get home from work, and then there's no house manager. So I'd get home, and then I decide, okay, today is Sunday. Now I know I don't have a free Saturday, I don't have a free Sunday. So that would mean that on Friday, when I get home on Friday, I make enough food, store it in the freezer, so that when I get home, maybe I'm just making garlic or I'm making rice, but I have enough stew. Then learning how to get home in the evening, because I can't do it in the morning, clean the house, learning how to wake up earlier, make sure breakfast is ready before I go home, before I go to work, and making sure I sleep when the dishes are clean. So I started that process as a single woman, so that if I get into marriage, I'm not, you know, expectations, I'm not relying on the man to, so even if he doesn't.
Oh, you're not doing it so that for the man, you're doing it for you.
I'm doing it for me.
Even as you wait.
I learned how, if it's washing clothes, I wash daily, because I can't pile up, because there's no time to wash piled up clothes, unless I'm coming to pay a fine. When we get late, when we get late from practice, we pay fine. So basically, building yourself as a woman now in my singlehood, so that when he comes, it's a little easier.
That's so good. That's so wow. Okay, now okay, but let me ask you, Levina, foundationally, you answer one and then we go to the next thing.
Okay. I believe for me, because now I'm newly into marriage. For me, it's been learning, getting to learn, to understand him, to understand myself also, because now I am at a different stage in my life. So mine has also, because I've been relying a lot on the Holy Spirit from day one.
That's so good.
From day one,
That's
even
so
in,
good.
When we were in honeymoon.
Yeah. Yes.
Koje tulienda ni wapi? Acha tuseme. Yeah, so from, like, I learned to rely on the Holy Spirit.
Ulienda wapi? Yeah, tiwacha nisiseme. Tuambie ni
Yeah, so it's because sometimes you see things and you're like, how do I handle this? Because now you don't know how to go about it. I have learned to go back to God and ask for guidance, and also just trying to step out of my comfort zone, because there are things there's a way I've trained myself that sometimes there are things I have to unlearn for me to become better.
Right.
So I'm also learning to unlearn some things. When I see that this is something that, because sometimes he would point out some things and I'm like, enyewe hii hakuna penye itanipeleka. So
Yeah.
I learn how to unlearn such things, unlearning some habits and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been, on the foundation for me, I would say it's been working on myself mainly. Yeah, working on myself mainly. Working on becoming a better cook, so that we cook for I cook for us.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and then also working on how my capacity financially,
Yeah.
working on my capacity in terms of supporting him as my man, supporting his vision, you know, coming up with ideas on how we can become better and grow as a family.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's, for me, I would say foundation imekuwa tu learn to build capacity.
To build capacity.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. And if everybody knew and understood that foundation is where the work is, you put in the work in the foundation, so that now the building can be structured, and then it's easy because it's a foundation that holds the entire building. So if a couple can understand that your building and the foundation is critical because it has everything, the electricals, the plumbing, the you know, everything comes from there to the structure. And so it's so important. So let's very quickly go to the walls. So from the from foundation, you go on to the walls. Now walls talk about cover. They talk about protection. They talk about boundaries. They talk about, you know, that you can have a secret within your walls in marriage. I find that a lot of people take their stories out there when they shouldn't, like, you know, something that maybe you're going through or working through in the foundation stages, but it's already so out there and you don't know how to cover and protect yourselves in a marriage. So when you talk about the walls, you're talking about protection, you're talking about that secret, because every marriage has its own secret codes that is between the two of you. Like the two of you can look at each other and you have spoken a whole sentence without us knowing. Just one look, your wife knew exactly what you said, and vice versa. And it's, so all that, the walls, that's what they talk about. The boundaries, what boundaries do you lay out, and what boundaries do you set where your marriage is concerned? So that's what walls stand for. So tell me what else, what do you get from that, from the walls?
Yeah, so from the walls I get, like what you've talked about, protection. So like on my side, I try as much as possible and discipline myself, because from the scripture we have been told, as a man thinketh, so he is. So I try as much as possible, anything that I think about my wife, it has to be positive. So I try and regulate my mind as much as possible, so that I am able to think positive things. That is one. Then the other thing is that, you see, like the things that we discuss, it has to be between me and my wife.
Wow. And can I tell you something else? And you're going to add, because it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're single, waiting, in the process or whatever, it falls into the same thing. Like I said, a wise, you know, a man, he who finds. So you already, God calls you a wife, he who finds a wife. And so it's so important to understand that that's where we are headed. So when we talk about protection, like what do you get?
I think for me, what I get from that is the aspect of just having the capacity to safeguard what God has entrusted you with. Because even the marriage is a gift. Like if you take it as a gift, you have to be a great custodian of it, and you not only even protect the institution itself. You also you protect your person, but you also protect the relationship. You like protect it, because we've learned over time that not everyone that smiles at you has your great intentions at heart, and you also need to know that this is already it's a spiritual thing. So of course, laying it all out there is, those are just human beings, and they do not see what you saw. They do not have the vision you have for your relationship. You are the only one that can see where you are going together as a couple, and it's up to you to actually safeguard what you have. Like, be sensitive enough to know this is from God, and I will give an account of what I did with this at the end of time. So you have to be very careful with how you treat what God has given you.
That is so powerful. And Sylvans?
Yeah, I support what Chris has said, because you find that, for example, I went with her to our shaku, our home, and there are so many things that I know about her that other people don't know. I know she's very hardworking, she's a good cook, but at home there are some things that she doesn't know how to use.
Right.
Yes, she's a good cook,
Yes.
but she doesn't know how to use them. So you'll find that
Like the 3 stones. And firewood.
Asipikie mbili akalie moja
And
ataungua.
pizza twins. Ati asipikie mbili akalie moja.
Ataungua.
Really?
so you find that your brothers may want her to cook,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, she doesn't know how to do to use the
Yeah.
So in short, you come in. That's where now you come in. If
To
you have an
protect.
idea of how to do it,
Yeah.
at least you do it with her, so that they also see
Yeah.
a positive picture
Yeah.
on her end.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. And
Yeah.
the other thing is that there are some things that she doesn't like,
Yeah.
and we grew up in different places. What we normally say or how we normally do things may be different from where she grew up. So you find that how we talk, because in our family we speak as if we are ordering. And actually, there is this brother of mine, anytime she wants to talk like to someone, normally says, hey! So, every time Femina wants to tell me something now, and she normally says, hey! She adopted that from
Yeah. Like ordering.
Yeah. So, you find that on that scenario,
Yeah.
you have to step in as the husband, not talk to your brothers that on her end,
Yeah.
this is how they normally do things.
Yeah.
So if you can please try and do it like this, so that she doesn't see as if
You're
you
ordering
don't
or
like
commanding
her
or
commanding.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I asked the men. You know why? Because men are usually the protectors.
Yeah.
That's what, that's how men were created, to protect. And so when we talk about the walls, even as much as we are talking about the secrecy and the things that should not leave the house, or the boundaries and all that, men really should protect like their wives. Protect their wives. Like I love what you said about protecting her even from your brothers and outsiders and all that. So men as protectors is very, very critical. Now we go back and say walls without a door are like a prison. Okay, so we are talking about a building. Marriage is a building. We are building. Okay, and we are talking for the sake of those who are here and those who are watching us, because you're building yours, or you will build. And so without a door, it's like a prison. Doors talk about going out and coming back in. So that talks about freedom. Marriage without freedom is like a prison. But again, when we talk about freedom, we are not talking about stupidity. We are not telling you now to be, what do they call it nowadays? open relationship. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like it can be an open relationship where you have your women and you have your men. As long as we don't meet.
Yeah.
So just don't come and, you know, don't rub it on my face. But go and do your thing and I do my thing. It's such a worldly thing.
Yeah.
It's so not God. And it's very evil. And at the end of the day, you know what it does? It destroys the marriage, and that's what the devil is after. That's what the devil is after. He came to kill, steal, destroy. He hates marriage with every fiber of his being. Okay? So having said that, what do you what's your take on that?
I think first of all, I love my freedom. So ask me what is your greatest fear when it comes to marriage? I used to say I think it's going to be the lack of freedom to be able to do what I want to do at whatever time I want to do, especially being that I've been a single girl for a long time.
Yeah.
But I also believe that, just like you said, without freedom it becomes a prison.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we should not lose our individuality when we get into marriage.
Come on.
I should be able to I should be able to be your wife, but I should also be able to maintain Doti.
Like also still have she,
Yeah.
Levina, and
As
all
my
the other
friends.
people as your friends.
Yeah. And what I've also learned from them is they have not shielded themselves from, you know, now I'm married, I can't come for a sleepover. Now I'm married, I can't do this. Now I'm married, I can't. We still go for sleepovers. We still go for dinner dates. We still go for, like now we have today we have a dinner.
Hello.
After we leave this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lazima niende. Sijaisikia nimesikilia hapa. Nawafuata.
Ati tunawafuata ati. No, me I agree. Wafuateni.
Watashangaa sana. Kigeuka natupata hapo.
Yeah, and I love how their husbands have allowed them, have allowed them to be them even while still married. So it doesn't look like marriage is boring and marriage is a prison, and when you get there you're just stuffed in and you can't be yourself, you become another person. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. She?
I like that because it was also one of my fears, lack of freedom. But having, husbands who allow you the time to go meet with your girlfriends, na wana join pia, know, and as well as even at home, like a space when you feel, because I'm an ambivert, he's also an ambivert, so kuna times anatakanga.
Explain ambivert.
Introverted, an extrovert who is introverted. He's an introvert who is also a bit extroverted.
Yeah.
So there are times he wants that space, and there are times I also want that space. And I will think, I will just be on my own. You're there, hasi ati uko mbali, but I can feel like
you're free to.
I am free to take time without being apologetic
or explaining.
Guilty. Anza kuni blackmail,
You see, you just like to be by yourself.
To be by yourself.
Who are you calling?
Yeah. Or even the understanding when for him he wants, when he wakes up, he wants 15 minutes or 30 to himself to think, to strategize his day, to meditate, and being able to also give him that, and for him, because mimi sasa hizo nafanyanga jioni when I am cooking, so saa zingine tutaka kunisumbua, and I'm like,
give me
time kidogo, and him being able to give me that, like I know that I can get that anytime so long as I communicate it.
Wow, that's awesome, Levi.
I also agree on the freedom bit. Because I think that is something we've had to learn, especially when it comes to space. I've come to understand his temperament, so I give him his space when he needs space, which is not easy. That he can sit in the bedroom, I'm sitting in the living room, everyone is there. So it's been work, and I thank God, but I think it's the freedom we need, and also getting to continue to love the things you love without feeling like mbona unapenda hizo vitu, feeling like you are not supposed to love those things, and also giving him the same opportunities. So like for example, for him, he would wake up, even put music for ballet. Yeah, music for ballet can be boring.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Ndio.
Very boring.
Yeah. So he would put music for ballet.
Yeah.
He would want to dance,
Yeah.
you know, and learn a few choreographies and stuff. But I give him that space.
Yeah.
So I think the freedom and also what they have mentioned, I will not repeat, still having your life, as long as he knows I'm in town at this time, even if it's 8 p.m. or
Yeah.
9 p.m., he's still safe and secure, that I know where you are. So it's not like, where are you at this time? Come back to that's what I was so scared of.
Yeah.
Because my dad was like that. Yes, but I thank God for him.
Yeah.
As long as
He's been well taught.
He's been well taught.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. So freedom is critical.
Very.
Okay, we go on to the windows. Now, windows speak about light. They speak about openness. They speak about, like God shining in on your marriage. They speak about brightness. They speak about a house without those windows is is dark, is empty. It's not good. So very quickly, in a nutshell, what would you say concerning that? Where marriage is concerned, where relationship is concerned, and where
Well, I think it's a beautiful way to put it. That I usually say that it's through the cracks. Like, let's say it's through the windows that actually the light comes in, and the light now, I think for me would reflect on the things that we need to shine a light on, and I think it's specifically.
You
don't want it shakrips. You don't want it shakrips.
kula kitu kama ukunywe
Kama kameenda chini sana hata nikaache kwa now.
Kuweke huyu usipongezee.
Niweke tu, asante, thank you very much. So I think there's what, especially now the building now being the marriage, and now you allow light to come in and just illuminate on the things that need to be illuminated.
That's powerful.
Because I think a house, as you have mentioned, without windows is dull, and that is not what marriage is about. Asante. Akajafika juu, but I appreciate Amekanyonga. But I think there's what we need to shine a light on, and for marriage needs to be illuminated, because I think even in this day and age, like marriage is fast losing what it was before, the glory it had before, because now people have just been taking it so casually. But I think we need to get to a place where marriage retains the former glory, where it does what it was meant to do. And I think that can only happen by illuminating on the things that we need to illuminate on.
I love
that. Marriage is working. The world needs to hear that. The world needs to hear that marriage is working. And if you are happy, illuminate that. Let the light come in and shine on that particular aspect, so that even the people that are coming behind you can know that this is something they would want for themselves.
And also openness in marriage. Openness. Be open, be naked. Stop hiding. That's what windows are talking about. Like, let the light shine on things that you're trying to cover. Like, be open, be naked. Dotty?
Yes. Being naked and not ashamed. Naked in terms, number one, I should be able to, my husband, I should be able to tell him anything. Anything, and not feel like you're going to judge me.
And you're walking on eggshells.
Walking on eggshells. And that also comes with trust. I believe trust is also built over time.
Totally.
I think trust is built over time. But I think when it comes to a marriage setting, I need to be able to tell you anything and also be myself. I don't have to act in a certain way to please you. Jua doti tu venye nakuanga.
Yes, indeed. Sasa this acting is up to when my friend.
Pika bolonye. Najanda school of catering.
I should be able to say, I don't know to make eggs. Maybe we can learn together.
Ati nataka bolonye.
Basically just being me. naked being dirty na
Yeah.
wewe ujue dirty venye anakuanga.
Yeah.
There are weaknesses to be worked on, we can work on them together.
Yeah.
But me not being trying to be another person to please you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Light shining for you?
Yeah, so for me, light shining in the setup of the marriage, I've come to realize I have to be open with her regarding now finances. Because like say for example, like tomorrow there's a business I'm supposed to engage in, I'm open to her. Then I've come to realize when you're open, there's a certain kind of favor that comes. If you're supposed to get that business, it comes through. That is one thing that I've come to realize, and that one I was able to learn during the premarital class. Then the other thing I've also come to learn is that, you see, when you're open, there's that unity that comes. Since everyone is naked to each other. Then you see from the Bible, we've been told where there is unity, God commands
A blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Levi?
Mine is on conflict resolution, because I feel like when you're able to sort issues out at an early stage, you're used to that. Because for us, we learned at the premaritals, when we were at the premaritals, and we were told on how conflict resolution plays a huge role when it comes to marriage. So we have learned that when something has happened and I'm not happy, we will talk about it. We would sort it out so that it doesn't build up into something else. Because mi nule mtu kitambo ilikuwa nimekasirika.
Yeah.
Achana tu na mimi.
We are not talking.
We are not talking.
We will be quiet.
We will be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for him, it's like, why are you not talking to me? Let's sort this out. So
Right.
now we've learned to sort out things. We shine light on every nitty-gritty detail. If I'm not happy, I'm not happy. If I'm happy, also I say I am happy.
Yeah.
So that it becomes easier.
So openness
Openness.
is very critical. We're going to go to the last one. There's so much more, but let's do the last one as the roof.
Okay.
The roof talks about a covering. The roof talks about somebody that covers you over your marriage, that you can go to and tell them where you are, because a lot of times people don't have accountability structures, and that's what the roof speaks of. Like it's a covering that covers you. So a lot of people leave it like that, and you see an empty roof. All the rain will be falling on you. Everything coming will be dropping on you. It will be, everything will just be dropping on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
How important is covering where marriage is concerned? Do you have somebody you go to and stuff like that? She.
I really feel it's very important, very, especially being the relationship I was talking about, hatukuwa na accountability, ama a covering, you know, it was just me and him, and that is why there was so much chaos in it, because the roof wasn't there. But now, being in this marriage, we have our spiritual parents, you, and having that covering, having the covering of our mentor couple, having the covering of even our leader. She might still be we are getting to marriage, but there's also the covering ametupatia kama our immediate leader in under the JCC covering, and so unapata there is safety in it. There is, I feel safe knowing that we have people we can always go to, because sometimes we may not always see eye to eye concerning something, and then when a third voice comes in, a voice that we respect, a voice that we honor, then inaweza shed light onto things that zenye hatuoni, because sisi tunaona na macho ya I am 29, he's 31, so but then kuna wisdom inakuja na hao watu wenye God ameweka kwa maisha yetu, to shed light on areas of that are dark in our lives, mahali wataona, we might not even see it sometimes,
but they can see it
and
tell you, watch here, don't do this, like
yes.
what we teach a lot in singles meetings or premarital. Our premarital counseling is very long and amazing, and we go deep and deep and deep. Now there's a lot, because once now you've built the outside, we just talked about the shell, we haven't talked about the fittings, we haven't, which is, and the fittings talk about love language, and talks about trust. It talks about patience, forgiveness. Because all those things now are things that happen now for the rest of your life. We are talking about February being the love month. Hear this: if you get this, you'll never be the same. Your marriage is gonna work. You're gonna be happily single, and waiting. You won't be gloomy and angry at everybody who's married, but you'll be happy to be in that season. And in fact, even before before we finish, let me tell you, when you're in the season of singlehood, be happy in that season, because many times we are missing out on a season because we are busy looking at the other season. Enjoy that season. Like now, Dottie, what you're saying, you can at least do what you want at this time. If you want to go watch a movie, if you want to go catch up with girlfriends, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Right? But when you get married, there are boundaries. We just talked about boundaries. And so enjoy the season you're in. Have fun in it as the next season comes about. And so there are a lot of things that go on for the rest of your marital life and your love life. You have to understand that after all the building is done, then we are going to now, be repairing, because walls are going to break, paint is going to fall off, the roof will have issues, there'll be leakage, there'll be all those things are things that happen in marriage. And those are things now that need to be paid attention to. So marriage never ends. Work never ends in a marriage. You always keep working at it until it becomes what you really desired for it to be. So it's work in progress, but it's beautiful. It pays, isn't it? Okay. One thing that you're going to tell, you start here and then you go like that you're going to tell a single girl that's waiting, that feels it's about time, that's probably angry. Look at that camera and tell them, this one, look at this camera and tell them.
I'd encourage any single person who's probably angry at God and you're wondering, why hasn't God come through? You're probably 40, 41, 40, 35. I'd encourage you to wait on God. I know waiting is not easy, but if God, you need to look at it from the point of God loves you. And he loves you enough to know that everything about your life is working together for your good. If God has planned that you're going to get married at the age of 45, you can imagine if you're 35, seriously just waiting on one thing and idolizing it until you get to the age of 45. And one thing God will never do is help you build an idol. So surrender the marriage to God, surrender the desire to get married to God, allow God into your life and just work on you as a single person. And then when the man comes, let him find you as a ready human being.
Amen. Glory. Yes, we are.
That deserves a
grape. Chris, look at that one and advise a single brother that's probably trying every woman, by the way.
I think what I would tell a single brother who's really trying out his luck with every other person, I will tell you that time has proven that you get the most meaningful relationships from a place of rest. Just from a place of rest. And you should just get to that place and just enjoy singlehood at this time. Just love yourself more than you love the idea of you being in a relationship. Love yourself more than you love being in a relationship. And then from there on, you're good to go. Just at the end of the, for me, what worked for me was because I had a list of who my ideal lady would be. And I tore that list and I focused on my purpose, my goals. And I now came to realize that I came up with now praying for someone that I actually have now, because they fit that part. But they only fit that part because I was even praying from a place of rest. Sikuwa na harakisha kufanya anything. I was just in a place where I'm just building myself, because it's not fair to hope for the one yet you're not making yourself the one for that
wow.
person. So they also deserve the one.
Yes.
You know, so you need
So
to
make yourself.
Yes, make yourself the one for the one that is coming.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's powerful. Okay, so we start from, you tell us, Anton, yeah.
Yes.
Tell us, you know, like a young man that you waited and God came.
Yes.
And how would you tell that man?
So I'd like to encourage everyone who is watching, like on my story, it was, we met with she, that one was last year. During the time that we met with she, what had happened is that my mom had actually been telling me, and so it is time you balance, because my focus was only two things, business and also God. So my mom was like worried, but you see, by act of faith, I had not actually even met she. By faith, I told my mom, unajua, December naweza fanya wedding, yet I had not yet met with she. You see, so I'd like to encourage everyone, let your foundation be God. Anything that you desire, pray, God will grant you, and God will grant you speed. Then as you speak words that are positive, because it's because of that positive words that I was able now to do my wedding on December. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. And she, that girl that's just impatient.
Yeah. I'd say wait on God. There is nothing as painful as compromise, and you go ahead of yourself and then upate umejingiza kwa a very bad situation. Because there's another day I was in the kitchen and I thought, oh my God, I am not single. Like your season, by the way, imeisha, and there's no going back to that, which is a really, really good thing. But if I had made the wrong choice, then I would be regretting. I would say, enter rest in God, because he knows you, he knows your desire. Sometimes una feelingi ni kama God amesahau niko, because anakumbuka hawa watu wengine, but ni venye tu time yako haijafika, and ikifika you will reap from the fruits of your waiting. But wait well as well. Wait well, where draw closer to him, build yourself, your character, be the person like Chris amesema that you also want to get, and rely on him when it comes to knowing who it is that you want to marry, so that you don't do it wrong. There's nothing as I feel like as painful as that, because the fruits of getting it right are so worthwhile.
Wow. Wow. Yes, my son.
Okay, so personally what I would say is, when I tell you to look for color red where you're sitting right now, you'll see it. So in short, what I mean is this: when you have an intention of doing something, when you want something, you'll surely get it. So what you need to do is just to be ready. And by being ready, I mean obtain all the wisdom that is required for you to be able to sustain what you really want. Like for example, when we started, I said that personally I was ready. My mind was ready because I already read books. I went through premarital classes, and that made me ready to get into marriage. So what I would suggest is that you get ready by reading, get ready by listening to audiobooks in regards to marriage, listen to talks that talks about marriage, and that way I think you'll even know what you would want to see in someone whom you want. Did you get it? Yeah. You will be able to know what you want. Because most of the time we get into something not knowing what we really want. So just read, find wisdom, as Chris said.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Levina.
I will do amesema yote. I will just put emphasis on building capacity. Prepare yourself so that when the person comes, they also find you ready. And then also we keep saying you trust in God for the right person. But now the challenge is we trust in God, but we want God to come the way we want. So if you've told God, this is what I want, and let your will be done, or come the way you will, let the person I want let the person I need, not I want, let the person I need come from you, then allow God to bring him. And whichever form he comes or whichever way he comes, whether he doesn't come with the looks you want, if he comes from God and it's aligned with the will of God, then you accept the person, then you grow together. Yes.
Wow, isn't that awesome? That's beautiful. Even I'm the one clapping for all of you. You've done an amazing work. May the good Lord bless you. May your love life work. May God visit you abundantly. This is Woman Without Limits. I am Reverend Kathy Kiuna. You have yourself a great evening.
Oh, my.